Hi guys, we are from Group 11. We will discuss about glucose biosensor, the first, second, third generation and the recent advance of glucose biosensor. Let's start. So, in this video, we will explain about what is glucose biosensor as well as the first, second and third generation of glucose biosensor and the recent advance of glucose biosensor which are enzyme based biosensor. So, what is glucose biosensor? Glucose biosensors are used to detect glucose concentration in the blood. It is first developed by the Clark Alliance in 1962 for the determination of glucose. It is widely used in the hospital and clinics as a device for the diabetic patient to monitor their blood glucose. These glucose biosensors are the most studied and developed biosensor application. In the early stage of biosensor, oxygen is used as the oxidizing agent. So, we will start with the first generation of glucose biosensor. First generation of glucose biosensor are using oxygen-based electrode. It is invented by the Clark Alliance in 1962 to measure glucose by electrochemical detection of oxygen and or hydrogen peroxide. In this biosensor, an enzyme named glucose oxidase are used to oxidize glucose into gluconic acid to yield hydrogen peroxide, which then breaks down into water and oxygen. However, this first generation of biosensor have some drawbacks due to the interference of the other materials such as ascorbic acid due to the high reduction of potential, making the oxygen cannot be oxidized, and also the hydrogen peroxide that form are corrosive to the electrode. So, this is the overall pathway of the first glucose biosensor. So, the glucose will be oxidized into gluconic acid by the presence of glucose oxidase. It will yield hydrogen peroxide. This hydrogen peroxide will be break down into water and oxygen and will release two electrons to be detected by the electrode. So, we will move on to the
What's the problem with the first generation of glucose biosensor? They depends on the dissolved oxygen concentration. So how to overcome this problem? By using redox mediator or mediator. Redox mediator will carry electron from enzyme to working electrode. It also will replace oxygen as oxidizing agent. The example of redox mediator is ferrocene. Ferrocene does not react with the oxygen. It also stable in oxidized and reduced form, react rapidly with the enzyme, and pH independent. Glucose oxidized into glucanolactone carried out by FAD component of glucose oxidase, which later FAD converted into FADH2. FADH2 oxidized into FAD by ferrocene. Oxidation of ferrocene will release two electrons directly at electrode. The current flowing through the electrode.
For third generation, it is based on direct electron transfer between the active center of the enzyme and the electrode. Glucose oxidase does not directly exchange electrons with the metal electrodes due to 1. Big resistance, and number 2. Difficult for produce the current. There are two ways to overcome the problem. Number 1 is by using redox hydrogel. Redox hydrogel consists of polymers such as PPP, PVI, or PPA, to which redox mediators osmium-based redox center are covalently linked, and when linked to electrode, it will be insoluble and swell in water. Another way to overcome the problem is by using electrically conducting organic salt. A pair of TCMQ, which reversibly reduced, and TTF, irreversibly oxidized, will form a charge transfer complex. Another example is N-methylphenylvinium cation and TCNQN ion. When incorporated to electrode, they become highly reversible and stable to enzyme.
Recent advanced application of biosensor. Fluorescent glucose biosensor. A fluorophore is a molecule that will absorb energy at a different wavelength. Fluorescent glucose biosensor can provide a continuous glucose reading by being embedded into removable wire-shaped subcutaneous or intravenous catheters. Device that measure the concentration of glucose in diabetic patients by means of sensitive protein that relays the concentration. Fluorescence is an alternative to amperometric sensation of glucose. The method depends on the principle of fluorescence, which is the emission of light by a substance after absorbing light. Advantage: greater sensitivity to low concentration of glucose. The possibility of constructing sensors that operate most accurately in the hypoglycemic range by using binding proteins with dissociation constant in this range. Less need to recalibrate in response to local tissue reactions around the sensor. No need to implant either a transmitter or a power source for wireless communication of glucose data. Disadvantage: a damaging foreign body response, a sensitivity to local pH and/or oxygen which can affect the dye response, potential toxicity of implant dyes especially if the implant fluorophore cannot be fully removed, the necessity of always carrying a dedicated light source to interrogate the implant sensor.